Hello there, everyone. My name is Kane the Dragon. Kane the Dragon here. And today, I'm just gonna, give you guys an update about, like, what's going on with Punishing Grey Raven, specifically, some issues, with the PC client, as well as, like, how you might go about fixing them. Um, Now, while the thumbnail may look a little bit inflammatory, that's just a whole algorithm thing, so don't worry about it too much. I still love Punishing Graven. It's still an amazing game. Um, and I still have quite a lot of love for it, but there is stuff that we need to talk about when it comes to the issues that the PC client has. Specifically, there's a couple different issues going on, and it's not targeting everybody. The issues always seem to happen randomly or rarely, and only it's been with like specific people and stuff. But pretty much, they have a bunch of different troubleshooting stuff on like their official Discord, and I will actually be pretty much going over what's going on with that. In general, performance-wise, the client runs pretty perfect for the most part. It's just really some issues like with the actual like launcher, more so than the client itself. So that's something to take into consideration. But pretty much, I guess we'll just, get down into things. So firstly and foremost, if you're, say you open the launcher, you're on the main screen, you can't log in, or it's not doing anything, pretty much their main fix for that is just doing a fresh install. Apparently they haven't really had any full details about like what that might issue be, but for some, I guess fresh install work for the most part. But that's an issue that could crop up if you're on like the login screen and you can't log into your account. Usually you have to reinstall. Another issue that they had, launcher update, was on an infinite loop and the game file path was changed. What they have to fix that is go into your game files and use the launcher.exe. So here, if I could pull something up, let me just say here, let me add a window capture on here real quick just to show you. Capture listing for this. We'll call this File Explorer. So, as you can see here, like pretty much for the whole launcher update is on an infinite loop and game file path was changed. Instead, what you'll do is instead of like launching directly from the launcher, like say if I went down to like my search bar at the bottom and typed in punny or punishing Grey Raven, it'll go over and pull up the launcher and stuff, and then from there, it'll try to do the update through the launcher. But if that doesn't work, what you do, launch from here and so forth, and then it'll try to launch, and that probably should work, fix things for you. It's not an issue that I've had personally. So again, most of these actually that I'm seeing here are like not issues that I've had personally, but just issues that other people have had. But there is one major issue that was quite annoying for me specifically, especially because it happened not only just recently with the recent patch update, but also it was an issue when the when the client first launched in the not soft launch rather, in the original like third beta test, like a couple weeks before the Nanami patch. That was an issue that was cropping up for me back then, and it disappeared from the Nanami patch onto the current patch, but now it cropped its ugly head back up. But there is a fix for it now, for me specifically, thankfully. So, there's that. Now, basically, yeah, go into your game files, use the launcher XE, and then there's also a second install that would also work, an app on Windows named KR Install PGR Overseas. So like if you look for that app, you could also try that, and that might help out with the whole infinite loop update thing. As for this, the update button is grayed out while checking files on the launcher. Just wait. Pretty much that is something that I've also seen happen to me before. It's not like, it doesn't take too long, it's just, I guess the way the launcher is built isn't quite perfect. And, well, obviously you can tell why. But basically, just wait. The launcher isn't optimized for slow hard drives, and some SSDs might take a bit of time. So there's that. But basically, just let it check its files, and then once it's done checking files, you'll see the boot button to update and download and do everything to get the game launched. The other option, reinstalling the game in launcher, may also be a faster option, so you could try that too. Now, tiny game window and or ultra wide or 4K fix. So you pull up your task manager, Alt Enter, or I guess Control Shift Escape to do that. Open task manager, click on the game XC file, right click on PGR and click maximize is a process for that. So here, let me also, I don't have it up, but basically, right click the arrow on PGR, right click on PGR. I did something like this. I don't see that there, but I don't have the game open at the moment, so whatever. But basically, open up Task Manager, go to the actual XE executable in the Task Manager, and then click on the XE and click Maximize, and you should be able to get the game working back into full screen and or ultra wide if you have an ultra wide monitor or 4K. Now, as for the server list auto-scrolling, apparently this is an issue that's tied to PlayStation controllers. So, pretty much, their solution for that is unplug your PlayStation controller, go into the button settings in-game, and click on the PS5 buttons, turn off the controller setting to display keyboard button prompts, and you have to turn that off every launch. So basically, it's just a settings issue that you gotta toggle every now and again. Ideally, it's not great, so probably, in my experience, if you do play with a controller, I'd recommend picking up an Xbox controller if you don't already have one. Or possibly seeing if you could get a Switch Pro controller to work. I tried a Switch Pro controller though. It didn't really work out for me. So I just ended up grabbing a cheap basic Xbox controller, plug that in, and work that wired. You could also probably use it wirelessly, like Xbox controllers are very compatible with Windows, so there's that. Now, no browser pop-up to log in. Pretty much, yeah, if you're logging in with like Google and stuff, pretty much when you go to log in, it'll ask you like, hey, sign in with your Google account, this account, that account. You click on that, it's gonna open up a browser to ask to log in. Well, a browser tab to ask to log in, and then you log in with whatever account that you use. And normally that gets set up, it connects, and you're all good. then you could close the tab after that's done and go back to the game and be all set. If that doesn't work, basically change your default browser until it does work, is what they're saying here. So a browser may work for someone, for no one, but may work for someone, but not for someone else. So use Chrome, Firefox, Edge, Opera. Just have browsers, I guess, on hand if you encounter this problem. No other fix has been found at the time, so report the issue to the devs, Kuro, if the above doesn't work. Contacts are, well, their contacts are available on the Discord. And I think in game as well, they have like a Kuro support email as well that you could find and send out. And lastly, 100% file check stuck and network errors. Well, this is lastly before the one that I'm familiar with. Basically for this last error issue, sorry about that. For this last issue error thing, what you want to do is make sure your PC's Windows language settings are set to English US. So like some people, if they're in other countries, I guess, and stuff, they'll have other like default language settings for their Windows OS. So that's an interesting issue to see. Surprising. But pretty much, yeah, you just want to make sure your Windows system is on that. So usually the simple fix would be to like go to like your control panel and stuff, and then wait, no, not that. Pardon me, I'm accidentally opening up a Clip Studio. But I apologize for not showing this. Well, most of this is simple stuff, really, so you don't really have to worry too much about it for the most part. But here, let's see, control panel. Pretty much to like change your Windows settings, you would just pull up your control panel. I believe it's under System and Security. If I remember correctly, it's been a while since I last had to do this. No, it isn't. So it's wherever you usually access like the language settings. Programs, no, user accounts, experience and personalization. No, clock and region, that's where it is. So you basically go to clock and region, go to region, and then you would go to like the administrative spot and like change your system locale or something like that, or the actual like language settings. But basically, yeah, that's where you would do that and change over to English US, and that should fix the whole file check stuck and network errors issue. So that probably would end up working out for you. Again, very, very simple stuff, nothing too complicated. But yeah, as I mentioned, like it's been a while since I've really had to do any changing with that, but that's because I also played a lot of like Japanese visual novels back in the day and stuff, and you used to have to be like in a Japanese system locale to actually like see characters correctly. Now it's fine and just in English for the most part, and then if you do have like some games you want to play that are like visual novels or whatever in Japanese, there's actually a pretty cool app that you could find on the net. Just Google locale emulator, and yeah, that's a little program that allows you to launch programs, executables in specific locales, like Japanese locale or anything. So if you want to like play something like visual novels and be able to like see text and everything, you could use the locale emulator to do that. Technically speaking, I think you might even be able to use it to launch the client in English, and maybe that might work out. Honestly, though, probably just keep it simple, especially if you're a US based user. just keep your system on English, United States locale setting, and you should be fine. The other option to fix that 100% file check stuck and network errors issue is to set your DNS to 1111 and try using VPNs. That might also work. So you could easily find like VPNs, like there's Proton VPN that's free, and a lot of others out there, Mudfish, so on and so forth. So yeah, there's a lot you could do to resolve like all of this stuff. But now let's get to the main issue at hand and the reason why I am making this video. Also, let me remove that source that I added on because I don't really need it on here anymore. But basically, the main issue is if you download the game and you're able to get past everything, download the actual files and stuff from the launcher and click launch, sometimes you may get a white screen not responding error, and obviously you'll see like the game is in an eternal loop trying to load in and stuff. And actually, now that I think about it, I accidentally got... Let me add that window capture back up because I'm gonna need to show some stuff with this. Let me pull this back up here. File Explorer. But pretty much, you'll get like a white screen not responding, infinite loop, loading, buffering, situation if you try to launch the game from the launcher. This was an issue in both the original beta tests, from the people that were in part of the first two beta tests, as well as an issue that was in the first test I had before, a couple weeks before, or a month before, the official launch of the PC client in the Nanami patch. But basically, this white screen issue, I've seen it mostly happen on people have been reporting it's been happening on AMD systems and not Intel systems that much. So I think it's like an AMD side of things issues, but it's really hard to tell. Pretty much what usually happens is you'll get this error. Generally speaking, there's no real official fix to it that's been known at the moment, that they've been actually working on. I'm pretty sure they're still trying to figure out why it's doing that. But so far, like, there's been no official fix for whatever this issue is. And it is very, very annoying at times because ideally, I personally thought it was fixed because it wasn't happening to me after the Nanami patch where the client officially launched and stuff, but lo and behold, 4 months down the line, it happened again. So, I don't know what Kuro is doing, but it is kind of annoying to see an issue like this be so prevalent. And I am no coder or anything, but this does absolutely need to get fixed. It is a very troublesome issue that definitely I know would be turning like new players off if they ended up encountering it. But thankfully, the community has figured out some workarounds. Now, whichever workaround will work for you, it's hard to say, personally. But pretty much, yeah, there's a bunch of different workarounds. Most of them didn't work for me, unfortunately, but there's one specific one that I will want to talk about at the end of this that did work for me. So the first fix for like the whole white screen, in fact, actually, let me try to launch the game right now and see if I get into that. Yeah, so if I pull over here, well, not that. Is it gonna be showing up? Also, I don't know why that's. I don't know why that's showing my main screen, but basically, you can't see it. Like, it's technically this where you see my home screen, but it's not actually that. It's actually supposed to be the thing. But basically, right now, what's showing up, if I can't capture it, unfortunately, or actually, I might be able to. Let me actually add desktop capture, or display capture rather. Main. Yeah. So you see this right here. It's basically, yeah. This is what's happening. It's just you launch the game, goes to a white screen, and what do I do? I don't know what to do. That would be like your point, your perspective. If you were like, say, someone that is newer and trying to launch a game. So let's close that out. This. So the solution to that, well, one of the solutions to that, if I go back over here. Now, one of the solutions is to either go into the game install folder, aka right here, and open it directly, like I just attempted to do, but as you saw, it wasn't working for me. If you tried to do that, sometimes it'll work depending on the person. Again, no real guarantees, unfortunately. But that's one solution. The solution right after that is to right click, go to properties. I think I have to here properties. Right click, go to properties, and you want to basically. Well, another solution people have been having is to try to run it into compatibility mode. For me, this does not work at all. It runs even worse than just trying to launch it normally. But for some people, running it in compatibility mode in Windows 8, Windows 7 compatibility, both end up working for like some people, but for me, it just doesn't work at all. But basically, you just click run in compatibility mode, Windows 8, Windows 7, whatever. Definitely not Vista or anything, because that's way too old. And hopefully it'll work. Also, just setting it as to default to run as an admin could also be useful. It might be helpful as well for you to just leave that on like that. Some people have said, like, if you click register program for restart, reboot your computer, and go in, it might work. I tried that as well, didn't work for me, and stuff. But those are options, and then another with the whole compatibility mode side of things. You also want to click on disable full screen optimizations. But pretty much those are the main things you want to do. And try those, see if that works. If it doesn't, which it didn't for me, like at all, and back in the day got me super annoyed when this was first happening, and well, then it got me annoyed again when this started happening with the Bianca patch. But yeah, that would be like an option. The other option would be to like go to Windows Defender and add the entire thing to your exclusion list on the software. So like you would add like the main thing right over here, the main directory where you ever you have it installed, and go to like your Windows Defender or whatever antivirus system you have and add it to your exclusions list. That might also help. Yeah, all folders to your antivirus exclusion list. And that's one solution. But obviously, I had basic Windows Defenders, so that wasn't the issue. Especially as when I first downloaded the game for like the first time, like it worked originally, but then it not worked. It stopped working rather after that. So yeah. So like your question then after all this is, okay, I tried this, I tried that, I tried this. What do I do? So, your answer, dear friends, is not that difficult, or it's actually pretty straightforward. Surprisingly enough, it's weird how this is a thing, but it is actually pretty simple. So I found this out thanks to the Discord user Impersonator on the official Discord. He's not a mod or anything, he's just another user. He's not the original one that discovered it, but he's one of the people that saw that and is like, oh, this worked for me. I'll tell everyone else that. But the person that did discover this solution was Bubble Manfred on Reddit, and that link and stuff will be below in the description. So I'm giving credit where it's due, because he honestly is an absolute lifesaver for me. But Bubble Manfred, what he said on his solution is basically you want to go to your game directory, PGR, Grey Raven, where I'm here right here, punching Grey Raven, after Kuro Game Haru. You want to go to your PGR data folder, and then there is two files here in the data folder that you want to basically move somewhere else within the data folder. So basically what you do is you create a new folder. You don't have to name it or anything. I just put mine here and called it SW Assets because that's what you're moving into this folder. Specifically, you're moving the shared assets 0 file and the shared assets 0.assets.ress file into here. And somehow, someway, magically, if you do that, when you launch the game directly from the exe, it'll work. For whatever reason. I don't know why it does that. I don't know if it's because of the way Kuro packaged those asset packages, if it somehow got messed up, or if it was an issue with the actual client and how it updates the game. Well, not the client, but the launcher, and how it updates the game. I really don't know. I'm not a programmer, unfortunately. But basically, what his solution is to just keep on moving those two files in and out of this new folder that you make and see if it works. Personally, I just put it in the new folder. And now, since you saw that, because I was already there and stuff, and I tried and it wasn't working earlier, they're like, okay, Kane, but that still didn't work. It wasn't working for you just now. Well, the thing is, it may not work all the time, but all you have to do is just keep on trying with this method. So like now it's, if you see like on Windows it shows like the blue loading circle and stuff, that means it didn't work. But if I try it again, like right after, give it a couple times, it's not working now, making a liar out of me. Basically, you just want to keep on going at it until you just see the icon load up normally, like it's supposed to. Okay, it's... Okay, now it doesn't seem to want to cooperate with me today. Oh, nope, now it is. So if I go back over here, that's showing up. Ah, goddammit. Basically, you just want to keep at it until, like, you don't see like the cursor turn into loading, but rather you until it just stays as a cursor and you actually like, see the window pop up properly. But now it's making a lar out of me. So let me just try this, move this back up there real quick. And let me also make sure I didn't accidentally save any of the changes earlier. Okay, yeah, no. Okay, that didn't work. Take those. Move them back in. Okay, go back over here. Ah, come on. I don't want this to make a lar out of me. It was working earlier. Okay, here we go. So, you see a white screen, but it's not loading. Like, you actually see my cursor and stuff, so it's not loading. And once you get this checking files, that means you know it worked. So yeah. And there we go. It's worked. We're in. Awesome. And then obviously, you'll get to the stuff. Is it gonna log? Okay, yeah. Logged me in immediately to my Google. Didn't have to pull up the thing. But basically, yeah. You just want to do that. Keep on trying. Keep on going at it. And then boom. You'll be in. Okay, yep. That's my daily login stuff and all that stuff. But yeah. And yeah, that's pretty much gonna be it for this video. Again, this is honestly kind of unacceptable, like this being a thing. And I know it can be very annoying. I honestly don't know what Kuro can do to fix it. But the most significantly annoying thing about it is last time this happened, it didn't really get fixed for me until the next patch. And that's 40 days. I know Kuro themselves are a small company and stuff, but like issues like this, you can't just leave and let it sit and not figure it out until the next patch updates. I know they're small and I really don't want them to be demoralized by this, but if you're like a programmer and stuff like that, you have to get on these issues immediately. Like, you really have to figure out like what's going on to make it be like this. And honestly, I don't know what it might be. I don't know if it's they've made better programmers or what. I honestly don't know what the solution is on Kuro's end. I still love the game. Runs absolutely perfect for me. No issues whatsoever so far when I get in. It's just with the launcher and stuff, like, this needs to be solved, is what I'm trying to get at. And for new people trying to get in, it can be rough. For me, it doesn't diminish any of my love for the project and for the game in general, because it's still very fun, very enjoyable. And they put a lot of effort into the game. It's just the client, the launcher, this needs to have a solution. Now, I apologize if I sound like I'm repeating myself, but yeah. But anyways, thanks for coming in. Thanks for looking to my TED Talk and troubleshooting guide. And I hope this helps y'all. Whoever else is having issues with the clients and so forth. And yeah, don't let this be the barricade that stops you from playing this game, because this game is absolutely amazing. So with that, thank you all, and I hope y'all have a good one. Bye-bye.